What's up, guys? We are back, and I'm looking at some more MLB plays today over on PrizePicks. That was short in yesterday's videos, but we had a hell of a day over in the DubClub, looking to stay cashing with some more winners in today's video. You guys had a like on yesterday's video, which is why we have 3 plays in today's video. If you guys want a third play tomorrow, get this video here to 160 likes, and I'll drop a third play in tomorrow's video for you guys. And while you're down on leaving a like, you may as well subscribe to the channel also with those notifications on. That way you get in before these lines get bumped to get removed. Final thing before we do the plays, though, is to check out the DubClub if you have not already. I do not offer this too often, but you can get it right now for 50% off of your first month or 60% off of the next 3 months if you go down in my description and click on that link. You'll see all the different testimonies right here of guys winning from the DubClub. And yesterday, like I said, we had a hell of a day. We cashed this a 9.5x entry right there. We cashed this one for 5.75x. Cashed this 2-man right there, as well as a taco pair there for 6x. So we profited on everything yesterday. Correlation entries, we had the 2-man, and also the taco pairs for that 6x. So we killed it yesterday, and we're looking to kill it yet again in today's MLB slate, as well as the WNBA game that we have today. When you join the DubClub with that discount, the first recommend you do is connect your Discord to DubClub. That way you can get access to all of these premium channels in my Discord. That includes my 6-man's tab here. We can see those, the 4-man and the 3-man were posted yesterday, and we were able to cash those out. Very nice profit on those yesterday, about 2.6 units of profit, which these are only like half unit plays, by the way. So if you had 1 unit on these, you'd be over 5 units of profit, really. You also get access to my bankroll builders and underdog streaks, as well as my community chat to talk to me and other members about plays or whatever is going on. If you just add me in the chat, I'll respond to you and answer any question that you have in a pretty good time. I'm usually pretty fast at replying to you guys. You also have my contributors here, they'll posting their plays. You have Asmies with golf plays, Emo with WNBA, Elo with soccer, Third One with tennis, Nerd Alert with some esports, and Astronaut Doe here posting some MLB, as well as some golf plays, as well as also some tennis plays. Everybody loves the contributors, including myself, and the work that they do. So come join us in the DubClub to get access to all of these channels in my Discord, as well as these slips, the correlation tab here, where I've been able to cash out all MLB season. And what made us cash out, so hard yesterday with that 4-man cashing, the 9.5, and also the 5.75x right there. So again, I do not offer 50% off very often. It is a limited spots available. So go get in right now with the link in my description. Get in for 50% off of your first month or 60% of the next 3 months. With that out of the way, though, let's get to these free plays. Make sure you play responsibly and at your own risk. Leave a like on this video here and subscribe if you have not already, and let's get to these plays. Got a lot of early games on today's slate, so we're going to start out with the earliest game here, at least for the plays in this video. It's going to be Gleyber Torres over 6 hitter fantasy score today against the Pittsburgh Pirates. If you are on another app out there, what I like instead is over 1.5 hit runs and RBIs, or it's half a run. But if you are on PrizePicks, I like the over 6 fantasy score for Torres today. So Torres has been able to have at least 6 fantasy in about 52% of games so far this year. He's covered his hit runs and RBIs at 1.5 in about 53% of games, which by the way is like a minus 170 today. So that is already some pretty good value, I would say, here on the over from Gleyber Torres here, just based off of that there. But you can also see how he's been in wins this year because the Tigers are so favored today against Bailey Falter and the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're going to be on the road today, but I'm not really super concerned about that. But Torres in wins has been over in 56% of games. Wins on the road, 54%, so not a completely terrible hit rate. We're usually trying to find a little bit better of a hit rate in terms of how good they are in wins, for example, but I'm not really super concerned about that, just based off of the fact that he's actually playing a lefty this time around. He's usually facing righties, of course, for the majority of the time. And also the fact that he's like a minus 170 today to go over his hit runs and RBIs. But his hit runs and RBIs this year, he's been over in 53%, but against lefties, 63%. So you can just see how much better he has been at hitting against lefties, which is even better for the fantasy score. And actually, if you factor in games where they win against a lefty, it goes up to about 71% of games, as you can see there. He is so good against lefties, that is why I like him so much in this spot. But you see here also that he has a 500 batting average and a 600 on-base percentage in 5 plate appearances against Bailey Falter. Another great sign for us here. Torres is hitting much better against lefties this year, like I touched on earlier. And you see here that also Falter has a pretty bad ERA. He's slightly better against righties, but a 3.56 and a 2.29 batting average allowed is still not very good. So that is what we're looking for when taking an over. He's going to be facing mainly the fastball and the slider today. Torres is a 361 on-base average, but against the fastball, though, a 424. Slider does go down to 222. But he's throwing the fastball nearly 50% of the time, making me pretty comfortable taking Torres in the spot. And also at the end of the day, he still has such a great history against Falter that I'm not concerned about that slider really at all. So I think Torres is in a great spot. I think you should be able to have a hit and we just need the team around him to hopefully put him into some run and RBI situations. If they are able to do so, I think Torres should be able to clear his fantasy score here at 6 against Bailey Falter and the Pirates tonight. Now, before I get to my next play, if you're not yet on Sleeper, it is one of, if not the best app out there right now. And if you sign up using promo code DOMG, they get you a first-time deposit match up to $100 and a free score when you sign up using my promo code. Right now, I have a 35% profit boost that I can use until I win. I also have a CSGO protected pick as well as an MMA protected pick. There's also some promos on the board right now too with a CSGO discount as well as Robert Whitaker discounted on his significant strikes, MLB minded today, for the MMA. So go get this app for yourself in my description and use promo code DOMG when signing up for Sleeper for those couple of promos. Helps me out and helps you out. And while we're on the topic, if you've not already seen, you can actually get a free month of my DubClub if you happen to use promo code DOMG on an app that I'm affiliated with. Just take a screenshot using my promo code on an app and send that to domgpropsvip@gmail.com, and I can send you back a free link for a free month of my DubClub. That includes apps like, of course, Chalkboard and Sleeper, and you can see all the different apps that I'm affiliated with right here. Every app out there is promo code DOMG except for Better, which is promo code DOMGProps. So again, just take a screenshot and send that to my email at domgpropsvip@gmail.com. That is all you have to do. All right, now getting to my next play here, we're going to stay in the fantasy category, but again, I have an alternative for you if you're not on PrizePicks. I like Seiya Suzuki over 6.5 hitter fantasy score tonight, but if you have another app out there, I would also like his over 1.5 total bases today. I think both spots are pretty good. But Suzuki here has actually been over his fantasy score in only 47% of games this year. Total bases is 49%. However, the Cubs are pretty favored in this game at home with some awesome weather in this game and a very, very nice matchup as well. But in wins this year, Suzuki has actually been over in about 65% of games and 65% of his last 20. And his last 10, though, over in 8 of his last 10 when the Cubs are able to win. At home, he's been over in 52%. Home wins, he's been over in 63%. So overall, pretty nice splits there for Seiya Suzuki. Now on paper, this matchup will be a little bit tougher against Seth Lugo. However, he has a pretty good history against him. He has a .333 batting average in 6 plate appearances, which include a home run and 2 RBIs with 2 hits. He is slightly worse, I guess, against righties, but really not by much. It's like a .03 batting average. Really not anything to worry about there. Lugo is pretty good this year. He's at a 2.94 ERA and a 2.21 batting average allowed, and he's even better against righties. But let me tell you, man, this win today is going to be insane. I like the idea of backing a guy like Suzuki, someone who can put the ball, in play deep. This game is a 10.5 run over/under, with Chicago being about a -156 favorite, as you can see right there. So Suzuki's pitching bat about third in the lineup there, and again, they're going to be at home. That weather is going to be insane today. That wind is going to be insane. It should be pushing the ball way out there. You have a .360 on-base average for Suzuki here. Against the curveball at .262, but the fastball is at .360. The slider goes down a little bit, but he throws pretty much everything. I mean, if he throws that sinker to a man, .448 on-base average. Cutter is a .464. So he really mixes in pretty much every single pitch. So as long as we're getting the fastball, the sinker, and the cutter a good amount, he should be able to hopefully have at least a hit in the spot. So I like the idea of backing Seiya Suzuki in this spot with that weather being so good. And I think the Cubs should hopefully have a pretty good game today, as well as the Royals too. I think both these teams should have some pretty good games here, even against somewhat better pitchers. Conway isn't that great, but overall, I like the spot for both of these guys so far, Torres and Suzuki. But you guys hit the like goal in yesterday's video, so I have a third bonus play for you guys here. And this play is going to be over in the strikeouts category, and that is because today I like Tyler Glasnow over his strikeouts at about 5.5 on the PrizePicks board, which is available right here. Could take 6.5 if you want a slightly better payout, but if you pair all 3 of these plays in today's video together, it actually pays out about 4x over on PrizePicks. So Tyler Glasnow here has actually been over his strikeouts at 5.5 in 4 out of 7 games this year. So which is it's not very good for a low-paying Goblin. However, if you look more into it, he only had 2 innings pitched there against Philly, and he only had 1 inning pitched there against the Pittsburgh Pirates. He got lit up in this game, I believe, and then he got hurt in this game here against the Pirates. But since then, he's come back. He played Milwaukee with 5 strikeouts there, and then he had Milwaukee again more recently with 6 strikeouts in about 6 innings. So he's a little bit stretched now. He's played 2 games so far, actually both being against Milwaukee. And now he gets a very good matchup here against the Twins, who he crushed last time he faced. He had 14 strikeouts last time in 7 innings against them. Although this was April last year, it was more than a year ago, he's still going to be facing a lot of the same guys in that lineup. And opposing righties this year have been pretty good against this Minnesota Twins offense. You can see Yamamoto just last game had 8 strikeouts against this Minnesota Twins team. You have Skeens here with 6 strikeouts against them. Colin Ray had 5 strikeouts against them. Horton had 5 strikeouts against them. some of these guys that are not as good of K pitchers are still racking up strikeouts against this Twins team. You see here that the Twins rank 14th in K percentage against righties this year, but 23rd in the last 30 games. If there was mainly the fastball, the slider, and the curveball, you can get some guys with that slider in terms of strikeouts, as well as that curveball as well. So they really struggle against the curveball. Most teams tend to struggle a little bit more against the slider, but that curveball is where they really tend to struggle a lot. So I love the fact that Glasnow can get some strikeouts with that curveball, as well as that slider too. So I don't think 6 strikeouts is going to be too tough today for Glasnow, especially if he ends up going 18 outs like he's somewhat projected to go right around. So I think Glasnow's in a pretty good spot here. Hopefully rack up at least 1 strikeout per inning. And I like the matchup a lot for him here against the Twins. To recap, my plays in this video are going to be Gleyber Torres over 6 fantasy score, Seiya Suzuki over 6.5 fantasy score, 1.5 total bases for Suzuki if you don't have it, and the 1.5 hit runs and RBIs or run for Gleyber Torres. And then Tyler Glasnow over 5.5 strikeouts. This pays out about a 4x over on PrizePicks. And again, if you've not already joined the DubClub, make sure that you do so. You get access to all my premium plays here. You can see all the different winners that we had just from yesterday's slate. 4-man, 3-man, taco pair 3-man, a 2-man right there. Like we cashed out yesterday. Come join us right now. 50% off, limited time, limited spots. Get in right now with the link available in my description. But thank you for watching. So for the next video, best of luck. If you want us to make over $5,000 of profit on PrizePicks, watch this video on your screen right here.